Welcome to Out of Order. I'm Marcus, here working on Rush the Rock. This is one of my oldest games I've had in the collection. Goes way back to when I first started my channel, but it needs to be cleaned up. It's a little trashed. This game is so awesome though. It's like, I think it stems from playing it on N64. And I remember the first time I played on N64, I had the Rumble Pack. And it was like the first time that I played with the Rumble Pack on this game on N64, and it just blew my mind. And like all the shortcuts, I mean, the graphics were really low quality, but amazing. And then later on, I actually got a PC version that ran a 3D effects Banshee card made by Quantum 3D. And it came with a copy of Rush the Rock, and it was awesome. Anyway, I eventually got this because this has real force feedback and it's awesome. Like the sound, you know, these just like Hydro Thunder, you know, have like a subwoofer in there. This one actually has speakers up here too, which is nice. So Jesse did set up the monitor, so it's pretty sharp. That looks good. But what I'm gonna do, I already went through, it has a flash card already. I did that years and years ago. But what I'm doing is I have removed this front bezel. I'll show you guys a better shot. And it tilts up because it's really dirty inside and I want to clean that up. And then there's like a piece of trim that looks like the glass goes in between the glass and the side of the bezel. So I'm gonna adjust that. I might even check to see if these switches right here can be, the LEDs can be swapped out. I actually ordered some LEDs, some wedge style LEDs, because I have some, but they're like red. I don't have any clear ones. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. So I'll just show you a couple things of it and then go from there. So you can see how the bezel pops off, and I've got it propped. So the first thing you do is you actually drop the steering wheel column down, and it's just attached under there, right here. And so you drop that down, and then you disconnect this green bezel, a couple bolts here and on the right side. And then when you do that, it props forward. So I actually have it being held up by a piece of wood, really, but this is so dirty, it's just terrible. So I have to clean that out. And then at the corner up there, you'll see what I'm talking about. But that's where the glass like cushion bezel piece, trim piece, needs to be adjusted and put back. So I'm gonna do my best to do that. That's really it. And then I'll see about switching out these bulbs in there too. So I don't know, that's all I'm gonna really do. I've been looking for a second one of these for so long. It's weird because people will just post them and then they're gone. Like, and sometimes they're so cheap. I've seen them for free, but I couldn't get them. So anyway, I've just got one, but I love this game so much. So right in there is where I replaced that fuse, which was I think it was a 1 amp slow burn fuse, and that restored all the lighting up here. So I was gonna put in some LEDs because all the bulbs were, you know, burnt out. As I started to do that, I realized how crappy these original buttons are. And all I mean by crappy is that the way that they're made is it's not terrible, but the way that the LED or the bulb holder, I guess, clips into the switch, it doesn't always like line up, and the way that you have to do this is it's just insane. Like basically when you take this bulb holder thing and you put it in here, you have to squeeze this together for it to snap into place. And also when you remove it, you have to do the same thing. So all of these are, it's just a matter of time before they all like become really unreliable. Like, so what I'm gonna do is swap them to new buttons. I am gonna save them, of course. This one does seem to work okay, but again, it's the back of it that is so hard to remove. Like if you want to swap a bulb or anything, it's just a pain. So I don't know. I think what I'm gonna do is take these off and add some newer style ones, which I'll show you guys. So here's a new one. And I think it looks pretty similar. I made that label that says music. It will light up. And the difference on these is that they just twist. They just twist together. So like when you put it in there, it has these little locks that just twists in. So in other words, you're always getting a reliable connection. At least when you press the button and you want it to do something. So I'm gonna go and swap them all out. Save these for another day. Maybe I'll use them down the road, but I am gonna change them. I'm probably gonna change the colors on these too. So this one will be green, and then I might make it like, I don't know, we'll see what colors I add in, and then I'll do this one too, even though that is really cool looking. All right, let's swap them. It'll just be more reliable down the road, so that's why I'm doing that. Plus, if you ever have problems with it, you have to drop the steering wheel down, you know, and then prop it all up, and like it's just a pain. So instead of having to come in here again, I just want to get it done. And like in here, it's so hard to work in there, man. Like, and get the switches out, and like to get them to go back in, just as an example. So like if you want to, I can't even get it filmed, but it's like to get that in there, like you think you have it, you move your hand and then it just falls out. It's got tiny little rings, and yeah, you basically squeeze it to get it to fit in there. It just, I feel like it's engineered poorly. That's what I think. So let's swap them. All right, so side by side, you know, they're slightly different. But this one, again, this plastic is super brittle. Like, it's just crazy brittle over time, you know? And these micro switches, they're fine, but it's just the way that it mounts in there. You know, the way that this goes in there, goes in like this. And you have to push and squeeze at the same time. And it's just, oh, dude, it's brutal. So getting it to sit reliably at the right size, and where the push, when you push it, the plunger actually hits the micro switch. So yeah, that's why we're switching them out. Otherwise, I wouldn't do that. But what I'm about to do now is make a view number 2 and number 1 and number 3. And so I'm gonna go with blue, red, and yellow. I could do like 2 yellows or 2 blues or something, but I'm gonna just keep them different. I also have a white, but I'm gonna save the white for something else. I'm just gonna use the same font I did for music. And I am gonna just do it just like this. So I'll do view, and then I'll put a sticker underneath it. So we'll go and do that. Whoops, shit. That's not what you want. When you do that, it shrinks it down to be like this, which is not what I wanted. So I don't want to do that. The thing that sucks about these, by the way, is they always give you way more than you need. Okay, view, which I think that font's pretty cool, to be honest with you. So view, but yeah, like look, it's just like it printed this entire side over here for no reason. Look how huge these are. What a waste. Anyway, I'm gonna go and do these. These new ones come apart. The only other thing with these new ones is that they have two like holes or posts that you could drill into the, like into your cabinet, and then that way they don't move around at all. But I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna just cut those off with some shears here, some wire trimmers. All right, let's put those labels on. There they are. I think they look pretty good, honestly. We'll see what they look like lit up, but yeah, turned out pretty good. So I like this little label printer. Works pretty good for a lot of things like this. So look at this horrible LED. I mean, that is so old. So old. Anyway, this is the one I'm putting in it. A little better. The buttons are basically identical. The plastic part with the two guide posts, those actually fit on this one because this has posts, and so that fits in the game. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make a perfect abort though. That's gonna be a little tough. So I'll see what I can do. I don't think I can use the same button. So it's not, of course, a direct replacement, but does look pretty cool. I mean, I did add a little bit of a border on there. It's not quite as awesome, but it'll do the job. All right, so the abort button has been installed. It really doesn't look as bright in the center the way it does on camera. It looks, for some reason, I don't know why the camera does that, but it's really picking up like the LED, but it looks softer, kind of like that maybe? I don't know. But either way, it's great to have these swapped out, and they all work. They're all working good. So now I just got to put this thing back together. I'm gonna grease the steering box a little bit. Gonna put some grease in there, not on the belt, of course, but and then put it all back together. So that is Rush the Rock. Can't wait to get this thing going. What's funny is I may not have room for this game. I don't know yet, but I really hope so. I'm working on it like I'm going to be able to. All right, so that does it for this out of order of Rush the Rock. Seriously, one of my favorite games. I love it. Plus, it's one of my oldest arcade games that I've had. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like. Thanks for subscribing to Sunset Hotline. Until next time, you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna keep that shit retro by playing San Francisco Rush on the N64 with a rumble pack later on.